Hello again. Here we go. Episode number 37 coming up right here as we get you going on horse race bets with me, Ken Rudulph. We got to get down to business. Another weekend of interesting Kentucky Derby preps, and you have your Kentucky Oaks prep race as well. And it's all happening in the same place. Let's get started and let's go to Colonial Downs. It's going to be a very interesting weekend at Colonial Downs. They had a little hiccup when they got off to racing on Thursday, and the first race, we'll let that slide. They're going to have a great card coming up on Saturday. The thing about it is there are not a lot of horses entered in, so you can keep your tickets relatively simple. All right, let's get down to business. We see the race that we're talking about is the Virginia Derby, worth $500,000, 50 Kentucky Derby points for the winner. A getaway car with John Hancock being scratched. Getaway car's gone. If Rapture wants to try to tangle with Getaway car, I say good luck to you. I don't think Rapture can handle Getaway car. But if for some strange reason Rapture can run with Getaway car for at least the opening half mile and put some pressure on him, it sets it up for runners like Omaha, and even Authentic Gallop. Those two are very interesting long shots, but I'm going to keep it super simple and just go with Getaway car because I don't think they're going to be able to catch him, and he's proven that he's pretty tough on the front end. He likes to fight. All right, and then just before that is going to be the Virginia Oaks. Now, this is a race also with Kentucky Oaks implications, and in this particular race, you're going to have to deal with the winner will get 50 points. The horse to the inside frightens me, Icona Mama, but I'm going to stick with Anonima. I think she's going to get the right setup, and I don't think that the one's going to be able to get away completely from the field. And even if she does, I really have faith that Anonima can run them down no matter what they do on the front end. Those are your two big Oaks and Derby prep races coming up on Saturday. Okay, before we get to that, this whole weekend you have to consider, hey, what do I want to do for the Kentucky Derby future wager, right? About 40 days roughly until we get to the Kentucky Derby, and you can kind of play the whole Nostradamus game, right? What am I going to do, and what can I do now to ensure that I get better value than I would on Derby Day? That's the key. Will you get better value on your runner come Derby Day? So you have to think, okay, who do I think can win the race and what will their value be? It's going to open up on Friday. It's pool number 5. It'll close on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, but the Oaks pool will close at 6:30. So let's take a look at what I think you should be considering. Whatever horse you want is fine, but I have 3 horses I'm talking about here. And I'm talking about getting value. Citizen Bull is, look, if he wins the Santa Anita Derby, I don't know if he's going to be the favorite for Derby Day, but he's going to be shorter than 8-1. He's going to be like, I think Authentic paid like $18.80. I think he's going to be around there. Although Authentic was kind of a surprise. We didn't think he'd be able to stay there. He did, and he paid off. Citizen Bull is that kind of horse. So if you think you'll get shorter than 8-1 on Derby Day, and I believe you will get shorter than 8-1 on Derby Day, then you lock in Citizen Bull here and see what happens, right? This is what we're dealing with. So then you look at other horses, okay, who can actually win the race? Okay, you see Getaway car there on the bottom. We'll get to Cold Battle in a second. You see Getaway car there at 40-1. Now, this is after he won the Sunland Derby in a fight with Caldera. Getaway car is back, and he's not going to have any challenge on the front end that I think is going to be significant in the Virginia Derby. So he'll probably win this. Now, when he does, he's not going to be 40-1, but I'm pretty sure that if you think Getaway car can win this race, if you really think he can win the Kentucky Derby, there's no way he's going to be 40-1 on Derby Day. Bob Baffert speed horses are not going to be 40-1. That's not going to happen. If he makes it to the gate, he's not going to be 40-1. So that's why you have to think, okay, can he beat Citizen Bull? Right? Can he turn the tables on that horse? And if there's any other speed, right, John Hancock or anyone else who wants to show up, Owen Almighty, can he handle that? Now, that's the decision for you to make. The decision that I have made is, even though I don't necessarily like Cold Battle, I think he can win the race. And because of his story, right, the little horse that comes from the small track, he's won at all these different little places, and then he steps up to the big track for the small outfit, he's not going to be 20-1 Derby Day. No way. You know why? NBC Sports will friggin' make sure he's not 20-1. They're going to run 857 stories on this horse to make sure that the $2 bettors who are swayed by these emotional things will bet that horse. Cold Battle will not be 20-1 Derby Day if he makes it to the gate. So now if you think you really like this horse, and I think he can win, 20 to 1 is outstanding value. So that's how you work the future wager. Who do you think can win, and what do you think the odds will be? That's how you do that. Okay, now we come to some really interesting news. And I complained, we all complain in horse racing. It's one of the fun things that we get to do. I complained about last weekend how Tampa Bay Downs, the biggest weekend of their season, dilly-dallying, the PPs didn't come out until like Thursday. Like, what kind of nonsense is that? And then your late pick 5 is not the last 5 races on the card. It's like 5 races and then there's the last race that's separate. That's so dumb. Horse players don't want to have to figure out your algorithm every time you have a big day. Virginia Derby Day at Colonial Downs, smart. PPs were out on Monday. That gives you 5 full days to handicap and figure out what you want to do. And then here, so easy, I go take a look. Late pick 5, it's the last 5 races on the card. What? Really? What a novel concept. But before we get into that, before we play the late pick 5 on Colonial, remember there's not a lot of horses entered in for that day. So we can really make it a simple ticket and try to get some value in certain spots. But first, you got to be reminded of your 5 R's. If you're trying to play a track you've never played before or don't play often, you have to do your research. Go take a look at the track. Then go look at the jockey trainer stats. The thing about Colonial Downs, it's part of the Mid-Atlantic Circuit. So the riders there, they go to Delaware, they go to Laurel, Pimlico. It's kind of the same riders, and it's really kind of easy to do the research and find out, okay, which jockey trainer combo does well, and can I utilize them? But then you also have to see which big name riders are coming into town. Javier Castellano's coming into town. Irad Ortiz Jr. is coming into town. Flavian Prat is coming into town. So Paco Lopez already came into town and stole 3 or 4 victories. So you have to look for those things as well. And once you see who's coming in and who they're riding for, then you can start making decisions on who you want to pick. The resources for this, brisnet.com, drf.com, easy places to go. Then you look at the weather, rain or shine. No rain forecast in New Kent, Virginia for the weekend. Then it gets to the really important stuff. Restrict your stuff to the areas that you are comfortable. Stay within your budget. Only play $50 per track. I'm not kidding. So maybe just win wagers, exacta, daily double. I'm a more experienced player. I can play a pick 5 and still stay within that budget, but that's what you want to do. And then last thing, reward yourself. Play bigger bets after you hit on your win wagers if you choose to do that, but make sure you pull some money back out, cash out periodically so you don't continue to just pour money into that particular card. So with that having been said, here's the play for Saturday. Race number 6 will start that late pick 5 sequence. See 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 5. That's the last 5. Thank you for doing the super simple math, Colonial Downs. I appreciate you. Tampa, I'm still mad at you because you're stupid. 6 furlongs. You know, Hitchcock is the big favorite in here at 6-5 for Pete Urton and Irad Ortiz Jr., but I'm not convinced they're going to be able to get it done. They're coming back off the layoff. They haven't run since September of last year at Churchill Downs. It was a nice performance, but I'm not convinced. So we've got first-time starter for Brad Cox, the authentic first-time starter. We just talked about authentic winning the Kentucky Derby, and Verifier has some nice workouts for Brad Cox. Flavian Prat will be riding. And then the 7 in here. Sure meant to be, has speed, and this is part of like the local connections jockey trainer that comes from that circuit, right? They've got some speed and they're going to be out there on the front end. We'll see if they can hold them off as they move through race number 7. So anyway, race 6, 247. Race number 7, 139. It's 1 mile allowance race. The 1, Eloquist, Jamie Nest, Jaime Rodriguez, yeah, they'll be in the mix. And then there's Winston Wolfe. So here we go. A big name rider comes in, Javier Castellano. He's riding for Tom Amos, who has a really interesting runner here who's 12-1 morning line, Winston Wolfe. And I think they'll be making the move from off the pace. The question is, will they get enough to run at? And then you have Wine Collector, who should give them a little something to run at. He's got some speed there to the outside. We go to race 8. Race 8 is Virginia Oaks. Now, we're afraid of John Velasquez to the inside with Icona Mama. So we're going to use her because we think he's going to pop out of there and either set the pace or press it and be in the spot to get through. And then we love the 4 for Kenny McPeak. Not Tom Amos. What am I talking about? That's Kenny McPeak's Anonyma. I apologize. I think I said Tom Amos earlier for this 4 horse. And this filly I like quite a bit. And I think she'll be in a great spot to make the move from off the pace. And even if she doesn't get a whole lot to run at, I like her. Easy here in the Virginia Derby. Getaway car gets away from the field, and I'm not going to really overthink that. I'm going to keep that as simple as possible. Plus, the scratch of John Hancock really opens things up for Irad Ortiz Jr. and Bob Baffert with Getaway Car. Then there is the 10th race. It's a competitive race, but the one to the inside, Michael Licious, I think he's just going to be in a great spot and just run them all down. Now, if he can't, because there's some speed in the race, there's quite a bit of speed. If he can't, right, if you got scratches, if things happen, Mo Rewards, the 9, is another runner that I think is going to be in the perfect spot. Has early speed, but can also press or stalk that pace, and will be in a good position to make some things happen when they turn for home. So that's how we do that. That's a $1 play. 3x3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 times 2 is 36. That's a $1 play for the late pick 5. You know, if you don't think you need that many horses, you can whittle it down and play for a greater dollar amount. Like, I love to play, and it's only worked for me maybe 3 times, where I've played a $5 pick 5 because I felt it was chalky and I singled through most of the legs and it worked. And then I was able to kind of increase the ROI because of what I felt were not very many options on that particular day. All right, so that's how we do that. That's how we go into the weekend. It's a Friday. Got a lot going on this weekend. Don't forget, take a look at what's happening at Colonial Downs on Friday before you get involved there on Saturday. Do your research, your 5 R's, and good luck in whatever you want to do. All right, in the meantime, in between time, until next time, I'm Ken Rudolph here on Horse Race Bets. We will see you on Monday. We're going to recap all this and talk about all the money that we won. Oh, and I see you next time.